Latest edition. Still not finished yet. There'll be another room by the end which will contain displays of the Canadian Army and Navy and Air Force.
Very nice.
That's Elaine's house.
Terry, we'll go up in here first.
Not Elaine. Eileen. You still do. Well, all right.
What if Grandpa goes and sits in our desk?
No.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Isn't that quite the stroller with the
yeah, with the
footrest?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we got Channel 4 from Madoc here. So.
The bunny.
Oh my.
How are you?
How am I?
You're the
Fine.
teacher here?
Yes, I am. And I am Miss Marilyn. And in this schoolroom, we have all grades from 1 until 8 to 8. And we heat our room with a wood stove. We all drink out of the same pail of water, and we all wash our hands in the same dish pan.
See the rabbits.
And we all have little jobs, and if you misbehave, we have a strap that you get. But our school doesn't start until almost the end of September because most of the children are farm students and they have to stay home and help with the crops. And then they are most welcome, and we have a great time.
Thank you.
This is Mater from the Cars movie, Disney Cars movie, and a gentleman in Odessa built this, and it's a replica of the original vehicle. This is probably our later edition. We moved the fire department from in Heritage Village to here and built a restaurant which was in Stirling in the early 1920s. What you see here is early use of the fire department, including the rugby fire truck.
Very nice.
Discovery room was really started for a collection of die-cast toys that a gentleman donated, and you'll see what we have. So. This is a diorama of Stirling with a little bit of license in the early part of the century. The kids get a kick out of the train, and a gentleman from Stouffville built this for us and donated it. Of our Legion display that will eventually be moved to a new building just on the end of the Legion display that you already saw. This was I'll show you this. If you want to just watch for a second, it's a movie that, we'll see if it'll start here. This was a movie produced in Stirling
I remember the war quite well, too well. We were young, and I was sitting on step. I remember George saying, "Go and comb your hair." So I'll remember looking right or something. But my mother was in bed for 2 or 3 days. It was such a worry for her, and the dad coming up and pretending, "You gotta get up," and so on. And she did. Well, when Fred left, she didn't want to repeat it and tried very hard, but again was ill for a day or so. It was very hard on the family because they knew what they were facing. It was ground warfare, 1914, 1918. They knew what was happening. They saw death. Trench warfare was very uncomfortable too, sleeping in those muddy trenches. They were very thankful when the boxes would come. When I say boxes, I mean treat boxes, food and socks, knitted socks and things like that for them to brighten the time. Even wartime news was something, but that came by telephone from Stirling Station to whoever had a telephone. Because when George was wounded, we did not have a telephone, but the neighbor had one, and he came across the fields with the message of the gunshot wounds in the neck.
There were 2 Hazeman men in the First War, and when I left Stirling in '51, these men were still full of shrapnel from the First World War, and they used to work up through the body and out their neck. And that was 1951. The war was over in 1918, and they still had this shrapnel.
And many of them coming home, were, even the thunderstorms bothered them. They sound so much like warfare. Fortunately, my brothers didn't have that seriously, but I know some that did.
The old men from the First World War, they used to congregate, maybe 5 or 6 of them, on the corner, and I suppose rehash all the things that happened. Those men went through a hell of a lot. Some of them were gassed, in pretty bad shape.
It was the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. That's the 3 11s. We repeated that quite a bit. That's kid stuff, isn't it, to repeat that?
There was always that silence. When war was declared, there was silence. And then the news broadcasts, there was a silence, and it didn't matter who was at your table, and Mother did like, and Dad did like to entertain, and the hired man would be there, and myself. There was just silence for the news.
Every day there was a big list in the paper, missing in action, missing presumed dead. There was another boy out there in Ridge Road, Jack Wood. missing in action. That's all they ever heard from you.
Talk of trouble is sent through the country, and we need an army to fight for the right. Young men enlist and are sent to the battle to fight the offender and help our allies. And the young men cry, oh Canada, we'll gladly go and fight for thee. And the young men cry, oh Canada, we'll fight to keep you free.
Battles raging, gunfire is blazing. The tired young soldier is clinging to life. He's ordered off and obeys by advancing. No hope of returning from the enemy fire.
And the soldier cries, oh Canada, if it must be so, I'll die for thee. And the soldier cries, oh Canada, I'll die to keep you free. And we all miss, oh Canada, the land where we all used to be. And we all for Canada, the true north, strong and free. The soldier cries, oh Canada, if it must be so, I'll die for thee. And the soldier cries, oh Canada, I'll die to keep you free. Far away we have seen a great danger, and yet there's a danger much greater within. The noise we make as we constantly bicker would hush not a whisper if we listen to hear. All the thousands cry, oh Canada, is that why we have died for thee? And the soldiers cry, oh Canada, we died to keep you free. And the soldier cries, oh Canada, be true and strong for me.
Good song, isn't it?
And there is almost as much behind as there is on display.
Good heavens.
Yeah. I don't know, Dale. Did you know where she is there going across it?
She hasn't came back up there yet. She's
Oh,
supposed to
okay.
go back up there.
All
I don't know.
right. Well, you can always get Margaret to
Yeah.
video it too, because we got the. This was a bunch of models that the gentleman that came to the 1986 plowing match saw the threshing machine and the saw mill, and the steam engine. And he went home and built that.
Equipment that you have here.
Yeah, on the farm. I used to be a
Yeah.
farmer.
Well, it was
I was-
funny
I
because we
was a
came
little-
in and Terry found a picture of his grandfather in the book in there. I
Yeah.
thought, wow.
It was made in 1928, down in Wisconsin, USA, shipped to Springbrook where they assembled it and used it in the sawmill, or the grist mill, till the early 1990, and then he closed his business and retired the engine. In 2013, we rehooked the air lines to it to start it and the water lines to cool it and restarted it. So
You're going to run it here today.
Going to run it here today.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Hopefully. Thank you for your patience.